Hi, my little angels. Come in, come in. There's much drama going on in the street, so everybody come in. If you look out that window, you can see what's going on. We have had quite a bit of snow today, and the snow plows are out. Okay, so everyone knows if the snow plows are out, you get your cars off the street. Well, unfortunately, 2 cars are parked, one on either side of the street, and the snowplow can't get by. If there's just one, they plow around, and if they bury the tires, that's too bad. But he can't get by at all. So he's laying on the horn. Now, I believe that somebody has come out to move one of the vehicles, but if the horn starts, I'll pause the video. But drama? Who knew drama on Christmas Eve? Anyways, come in and be comfortable and welcome, you guys. I've got everything set up. We've got one hammock over here by the tree. I thought I'd read in front of the fireplace today for you guys. I've got one by the window for those that want to watch the drama. And I've got one over here just by the couch. And each hammock will fit 3 of you comfortably. 4 if you're friendly. And I have the big rocking chair that will fit 2 of you. No, not you 2. You're too friendly. You 2 over on the meditation cushions. Thank you. But the feet will come up on that one. Yeah. We have the couch. Candy's willing to share her love seat. And I have some hardback chairs for those that need it. And we have the meditation cushions all laid out as well. Okay. Now, I did make some refreshments tonight. For our hot beverage, I did a mulled cranberry juice. It's kind of like a non-alcoholic mulled wine. It's just cranberry juice, and there's unsweetened, and in it is, you can do a bouquet garni, which is a fancy term for cheesecloth with twine. You can also use a coffee filter and an elastic band. Just make sure it's clean. I put in a cinnamon stick, a hunk of ginger, a star anise, some cardamom pods, and some allspice berries. And it just perfumes the cranberry juice, and drinking it warm, oh, it's so nice. You guys, you've got to try it. Yeah, I've put the cups out. Help yourselves. And then over here for our chilled beverages, I have done a lemonade, basically, but it's a fruited lemonade. So I've got different ones, and some are sugar-free, so help yourselves for those that need that. Everything is vegan, of course, and gluten-free. But the lemonade has strawberries, cherries, blueberries. So it gives it a different kind of flavor. Help yourselves, of course. What's that, sweetie? Oh, no, honey, you can help yourself. No, you can have as much if you want. You can have a hot and chilled. You're new here, aren't you? Okay. Well, first of all, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Guys, we have new little angels. Hi. Please give this a thumbs up. You can share it. Sharing is caring, and it is that time of year. If you silently watch, that's okay. I'm happy for the company. But if you're comfortable leaving a comment, please do. We love the comments on this channel. I love watching you all interact with each other. I love to interact with you. I love to know what's going on in your heads. I really do. And when we interact like that, we connect. When we connect, we take this great big world and go and make it smaller. And that is such a good thing, you guys. It's such a good thing. And please hit that subscribe button below. I'd really appreciate it. And hello to all my returning little angels. I love you guys so much, and I thank you so much for your love, your support, your caring, your kindness, everything. And I really love all the questions you guys have left for Mrs. Claus, because on Christmas, Mrs. Claus is taking over my channel, and I'm going to the North Pole. So she's going to read out the questions that you have for her and answer them. And I think you'll have some fun. I think so. So please make sure you're still subscribed too. Okay, guys? All right. So tonight I'm going to read to you from my favorite holiday book of this time of year, Stories Behind the Best Love Songs of Christmas. And apparently there's one more stories behind. So I might be ordering that too. I love this. I love knowing where the songs come from. And you guys are in for a special treat tomorrow, Christmas Eve. I'm doing the collab again with Lori Latte, ASMR, my bestie. She has the most beautiful gift of singing. Her voice is so soothing. She's going to sing Christmas carols, and I'm going to read the story behind a couple of them. So I hope you guys will really enjoy it. I really hope so. And tune in for that. Now, tonight's video, I wanted to do my favorite story. It's not my favorite Christmas carol, but it is my favorite Christmas carol story. And why this hasn't been made into a movie is beyond me. It has everything. So if there's any producers out there, produce this story. I'm telling, and please cast me in some way. But I'm telling you, it's an amazing story. It really is. And it's perfect for the holiday season. It truly is. Now, for those of you that haven't been here before, when I read to you, it's to help you fall asleep. So you can have a night light, you can have an electric light, you can have battery operated candles, you can have a sleep mask, because these don't have pictures. You can just listen to me read. No lit candles. It's my only rule, guys. It's too dangerous, and you guys are way, way, way too important to me, okay? I love you all too much to take chances with any of you, okay? Thank you. So, shall we do a breathing exercise first to help your bodies relax? What's that, hon? Okay, we do this to help our brain send the message to the rest of our body that it is time to slow down and to relax, and it helps us fall asleep better. So it's called box breathing, and what we're going to do is take a deep breath through our nose slowly for a count of 4, and then we're going to gently hold it. Sorry, my lipstick's weird. For a count of 4, and then a slow release through pursed lips for a count of 4. If you can, guys, if you can only do 1 or 2, you can only do 1 or 2. I'm proud of no matter how much you do, okay? Okay. Is everyone ready? Okay. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. And out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. Hold. And out. Okay. Last one. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. Out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. And you've improved a lot. Okay, so let's get to the story, shall we? Okay. Let me just put on my specs. So, this is the story behind Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Ready? In 1938, the Great Depression wound down, and even as the prospect of better times loomed on the horizon, Bob May was looking toward another bleak Christmas. An advertising copywriter for Montgomery Wards, living on a very meager salary, May was on the brink of bankruptcy, and he was exhausted. After fighting cancer for 2 long years, his wife Evelyn was losing the battle. Staring into each other's eyes, they both knew she wouldn't last much longer. Their daughter knew something was wrong too. On a cold December night, after visiting her bedridden, emaciated mother, their 4-year-old Barbara climbed into her father's lap. "Why isn't my mommy just like everyone else's mommy?" she solemnly asked. How could he explain to a small child that her critically ill mother wanted to play with Barbara, wanted to read her stories, and more than anything, to be with her for the most important moments of her life? How could he tell an innocent girl that illness and death were part of life? That Evelyn wanted to be like other mothers, but illness had excluded her from the activities that children and their mothers normally did enjoy? How could he give her the answer she needed without breaking little Barbara's heart in the process? In their drafty 2-room Chicago apartment, with the cold north wind rattling the windows. Bob May held his daughter in his arms and struggled to answer the child's simple question. He recalled the pain he always felt growing up because he was considered different. May had been a small, thin child, constantly picked on by the other children, being called Sissy and other names that he really didn't want to remember. Even in college, he was so slightly built, he was often mistaken for a young boy. Despite having a college degree, the country's sorry financial state had made it almost impossible for May to find any other job than the position he held at Ward's. And really, it was far beneath his skill set. Yet, when he found Evelyn, they fell in love and were married. Bob suddenly felt like a king. For the first time, he had a place in the world where it was all right not to fit the mold. Their daughter's birth seemed to assure the man that good times were just around the corner. But then Evelyn got sick, and the cost of fighting the cancer stole not only his wife's energy, but the family's savings as well. Bob sold everything of value, and they lived in what could only be called a slum. But on that cold, windy night, even with every reason to cry and to complain, Bob wanted his daughter to somehow understand there was hope, and that being different wasn't something to be ashamed of. Most of all, he wanted her to know that she was loved. Drawing from his own experiences, the copywriter made up a story about a reindeer with a large, bright red nose. And as little Barbara listened, May described in story form not only the pain felt by those who are different, but also the joy that can be found when someone discovers their special place in the world. The tale was a big hit with Barbara, and thereafter she demanded that her father tell it every night. With every new telling, the plot grew more elaborate, and the reindeer, Rudolph, became less of a fictional character and more a member of the May family. Unable to purchase a gift for Barbara that Christmas, Bob decided to carefully craft his story about Rudolph into a homemade book, drawing on his own abilities as an artist for the pictures. Many evenings after his wife and daughter had gone to sleep, Bob carefully worked to finish his unique present. But tragedy struck the May family just before Christmas could arrive. Evelyn lost her battle with cancer. Through the last few pages of his gift book were stained with tears, Bob didn't give up on Rudolph. He knew that his daughter needed the uplifting story now more than ever. He prayed for the faith, for the strength to finish this project. His efforts were rewarded when a thrilled Barbara found a completed copy of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer waiting for her on Christmas morning. Though he hardly felt like celebrating, a few days later, Bob was forced to attend a Montgomery Ward's employee party. His co-workers in the ad department asked May to share his children's story that night. Though he didn't feel like it, he took his book and at the appointed moment climbed before the crowd and read the story. After the scores of holiday revelers laughed, they stood and gave May and his children's tale a thunderous ovation. They all loved Rudolph, and they wanted copies of their own. It's not going where you think it's going. The head of the company felt that Ward's could benefit from Bob's gift to his daughter. For a very modest sum, Stewell Avery, the chairman of the board of Montgomery Wards, brought all the rights from the cash-strapped and debt-ridden May. Avery then had tens of thousands of copies of Rudolph printed and shipped to Ward stores across the nation in time for Christmas 1939. The response was so positive that for the next 6 years, each child who visited a Santa in the company was given a copy of May's book. By 1946, Ward's has given away 6 million copies of Rudolph, and Stewell Avery was being besieged by offers from every major publishing house wanting to print a new version of the story. Now, this is where the story gets good. In one of the most generous decisions ever made by the head of a large company, The CEO gave all rights back to Bob May. A year later, the mass market release of the book made the Ward's copywriter a very rich man. With the book a bestseller, numerous toys and product deals were soon cut, and May's entire life revolved around a story he had told to comfort his worried daughter. He remarried, and with a growing family, Bob couldn't imagine anything else that could improve his wonderful life. And then his brother-in-law, Johnny Marks, decided to adapt the story into a song. Marks, who had written music for a number of major recording stars, hoped that the voice of Christmas, Bing Crosby, would record Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But Crosby passed. Marks offered the song to Dinah Shore, and she wasn't interested either. Other artists were all given a demo, but none of them wanted it. Finally, cowboy star Gene Autry was approached. Marks figured that Audrey might be looking for a follow-up to his earlier Christmas hit, Here Comes Santa Claus. Besides, Gene, unlike Bing and Dinah, often sang kids' songs. Children were his main audience. Like Crosby, Shore, and other artists, Autry was unimpressed. He had already discovered a song he felt would become a seasonal children's classic in If It Doesn't Snow This Christmas. There was no doubt that The Favorite Tale was a great song and a perfect children's single, but Marks begged Gene to give Rudolph a second listen. The writer figured that Autry might find a place for the misunderstood reindeer on his B-side of the record. Gene took Marks's demo home, and he played it for his wife, Ina. As they listened, Autry scoffed at what was already too many songs about reindeers. Ina thought differently. When she heard the line, "They wouldn't let poor Rudolph play in any reindeer games," it broke her heart, and she insisted that her husband cut that song. Columbia Records wanted Autry to record 4 sides, which is songs, for a Christmas release. Rudolph was the last song chosen and cut. A few weeks later, when Autry sang Rudolph at the Madison Square Gardens Rodeo, the crowd went wild. As the Cowboys fans rose to their feet, the underdog deer flew past the other 3 new Christmas cuts and became the singer's holiday release for 1949. While Bing Crosby and Dinah Shore looked on, Gene Autry's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer streaked to #1 on the charts. It would soon become the second best-selling Christmas song of all time, just behind White Christmas. Though books, records, television specials, and movies for tens of millions of children of all ages, Rudolph has become as much a symbol for the secular world of the Christmas version as Santa Claus. While there are many lessons to be learned from this magical story, including that while it takes courage to be different, being different can be a blessing, there is an even greater lesson from this story, and song that is now all but forgotten. When you give a sincere gift of love from the heart, that gift will come back to you, magnified beyond all expectations and measures. It is a lesson that the fictional Rudolph and the very real May family are still living more than 6 decades after the story was first told. Okay, this must be an old book because it's like 8 decades, maybe 9. It's one of my favorite stories, and the generosity of the CEO, the way the song touched people, the adversity they overcame. It truly is a magical Christmas song, and I really hope people know the story behind Rudolph more. And I see some of you have dropped off. I hope that helps you fall asleep. And please always remember, I love you. I value you. I honor you. I pray for you. And I am so very, very glad that each and every one of you was born.